Hi, I'm Despa. You're watching be83. This is me, the artist. And today, I'm here with Rival.
What's going on, brother? You good?
What's going on, bro?
Yeah, man. How you doing?
Yeah, man, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Yeah, man.
As always with a lot of these interviews, it's like the first time I've sat down with somebody, and I believe this is the first ever time I've sat down and had a conversation with yourself.
Yeah.
But I know we've been in the same circles for a while, etc., etc.
Yeah.
I think the last time I saw you was the Wiley tour.
Yeah, that was 011, 010 or 11.
Could have even been 10.
It's been a while. It's been a very long time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And how many legs? How many dates did you do on that tour?
I did 2 dates. I did the Birmingham show and the London show. Yeah. I was meant to do Norwich, but I can't remember what happened. But yeah, we didn't end up doing that one.
And how was that tour for you?
A different experience, because like in my mind it was like, yes, Wiley tour. I'm gonna go there, tear it down, do Grime.
Yeah.
But when you get there and you're kind of just in an element where they just want to hear wearing my Rolex, it was like
that was
that time period. So it was like they wasn't necessarily Grime fans, but to still go out there and experience it kind of opened my eyes to how much music I actually needed to record at the time. Because at the time it was a lot of, not necessarily violent, but kind of like, it was only for one predominant crowd at the time, and I was capable to do more than that. So for me, that kind of opened my eyes to say, when I actually do a proper show, I need to have a proper set track, and I need to kind of format myself into building up towards that hype, towards maybe the end, and starting off with an intro and kind of, so that definitely opened my eyes to the fact that at the time I wasn't making enough proper music. So I've kind of got that element now, I'd definitely say.
So if that was about 010, 11 and you ended up on that tour, why were you brought onto that tour at the time? How long have you been around and kind of what were you doing at that point there?
I think Wiley had one of his mad moments and he just said, yeah, Rives want you on the tour. He named a bunch of us at the time. I always got a big him up for it, but I just think it was just, the relevance at the time was like it was just the right circle of people to be around, and enough people added him. So I got the shout out, so I was happy for it, man.
So it was a Twitter thing?
Yeah, it was definitely, and then he kind of just chose a bunch of us MCs, and then just said, yeah, you on the tour, and then we just went.
So how did you get your start in music? And it's always been Grime that you've made?
I'd say, yeah, it's always been Grime that I've made. I've been influenced by stuff like jazz, hip hop, like stuff, because obviously for us, it's like we, as a scene, we kind of look at Grime like the pinnacle of music, but we have childhoods where I grew up on Wu-Tang, Run DMC, Naughty by Nature. So for me, I've been always predominantly hip hop. So when Grime came about, like people like Dizzy Rascal, Soul Solid Crew and stuff like that, that kind of got me into it. But at first, I wasn't trying to be an MC. I'd write maybe a few little, them So Solid like M to the C to the, that kind of flow, but it didn't really click for me, so I ended up becoming a DJ. So I did the DJing thing from about 15 to about 17, 18, and I was in a crew called Highly Rated. At the time it was me, D-Dark, Bex. So I was around the element of the whole, when you had a big crew and then you had the younger crew. So I was around Kids in the Hood, Boys in the Hood, Younger Nasty, a lot of crews in North London, like Aftershock Lords, so that was like Royal, Crucial, them lot. So I was around that kind of element of Grime. So when they made On The Block, I was DJing at Axe FM, Flavor, Heat. So I was around that. So it wasn't really for me, it wasn't like a new intro when I done the Grime as an MC, because I already knew maybe a few MCs, but it was like a very big like step from being quiet and mixing to MCing and being loud. So now I'd say MCing wise, I've done it seriously. I wrote my first lyric in 2009. Wrote a few down. People said the voice was cool, but I didn't really take it serious. And then I kind of made the decision to take it serious in 2010. So from now to 3-4 years now. My 4th year now.
And how have you found kind of like developing a fan base over that period of time?
It's always, I think it's not really about developing a fan base. For me, it's more about developing yourself, and the fan base kind of picks up on the things that they like.
Yeah.
And that will happen naturally. For me, it's been more of a development of myself, because when I first started, it was very gritty, very angry, kind of like, it reflected on my life situation at the time, and that's what people kind of liked. And then the more I kind of grew up, the music started to change slowly, but then I found that people like me for certain things within maybe lyrical content, wordplay, and stuff like that. So I've kind of picked up a nice fan base that just liked me for being me, and I found myself, if that makes any sense. I've kind of found what I need to do, and that is kind of like deliver reflective subjects that people relate to in like an ideal world, rather than the whole, we're just gonna gun reload and shoot everyone. Because realistically, not everyone goes through that, and not everyone can relate to it. So when I kind of made the decision to make proper music and sit down with myself, I think I found a bit more progression, and I understood how music works better for myself, rather than trying to fit into a crowd. So now I'd say I'm a bit more on path, and I think people kind of understand that about me now.
And have you displayed any of those kind of, thoughts and feelings that you're going through in terms of making better music in a project that somebody can go out and get now and say, okay, this is right?
I'd say the first project for me, well, I've always been able to do it, but I haven't really touched on it. The first time I kind of touched on it was 2010, my first mixtape, which was pretty much all the way grease, all the way violent. Like, it was just. But then the last tune I did was a tune called Tyrant with Ghetto.
Okay.
And Merlin produced it, and he made this hook, but it basically just said, I'm trapped in a cycle of violence. And in the song we basically say, we've been trapped in a cycle of violence. We talk about our surroundings and why we are the way we are, but at the same time, we're kind of stuck in that violence. It doesn't necessarily mean we don't have thoughts and feelings. So that tune was kind of like an intro, but I'd say maybe Lord Rives, that we dropped that CD 2011. That was, for me, was the proper CD I made, where I done songs talking about real life issues and situations, and giving people scenarios of different things and proper concepts within the music, especially within grime music, because we don't really have that per se.
Do you think that the grime music struggles with, or has not enough of that kind of content that people can relate to, more musicality, etc.? Or
I think in some ways yes, because it's like with music now, grime music now, people just hear all their favorite tunes in the raves, but they don't kind of have that element of, like, when I used to be a DJ and used to get the vinyls, like, one tune that's always stood out for me was Kano and Wonder, What Have You Done?
What have you done?
Yeah.
What have you done with me? Like, they say, a lot of people don't know that tune,
Yeah, and for me, that tune was like, what is this? This is grime, but this is like...
And the beat was completely different as well.
It was different. Or we had when Wiley was taking a lot of slow jams and taking the samples and making like girl songs. We don't have girl songs in the scene now. And I think, well, if we want girls to come to the raves, how are we not gonna have girl songs, or people, like, we've all been through breakups or hard times with a girl. We can speak about it without sounding quote unquote moist. So why don't we have it? So I'm now in a place where I kind of want to be able to do that, as well as the exciting things that people like.
It seemed like that element was there before. I mean, we were talking off camera earlier on about there was a period of time that seemed like it was getting more mature, etc. And it kind of felt like it took a step back. I mean, do you think there's any reason to why those elements kind of went missing? The girl tunes, etc.
I don't know why it took a step back or why it wasn't touched on, but I think as the music kind of evolved within our scene, we got like different things like dubstep and stuff like that. So I don't know if it took I wouldn't say it took a step back, but I think people it was overshadowed by the fact that all of these loud sounds and the music became more productive and stuff like that. That seemed to have been on the rise, and that's what people kind of enjoyed more. But I think now that it's kind of settled down and it's an established genre within itself, people are kind of seeing that, cool, I like this music or whatever. I just think it's being able to be a musician and give people the choice to listen to that music and this music. But I just want to be able to at least they have the choice, rather than having all of the dubstep and fitting it into the crowd with the music that's relevant at the time. So now for me, it's more, alright, cool. This is what grime I grew up on. I'm gonna give you lot this. If you like it, listen to it. If you don't, it's cool. But it's just being able to give people that choice again. The same choice we had growing up. And I think it's more important for us to do that as a scene now, because if we don't, this dubstep and the grime that people are used to listening to is gonna stand out always, right, Rob? Because with us, we had the What Have You Done's, when Wiley was doing them kind of rhythms,
so
like,
short and those kind of things,
we don't have that, like this group of, or this generation of people that listen to music don't necessarily have that now. So it's on to us as the artists to kind of give them that platform to listen to that music and say, well, you know what, I like this, and then they can hopefully enjoy it just as much as we did.
It's definitely important to kind of have something that the other artists can look at. I think
definitely.
This is the okay, cool. I mean, you say you really got started around 2010. So that's only kind of like 3 years. What's the highlight of your career so far?
Honestly, making a mixtape. For me to just have a finished product, like after like years of deliberation on if I wanted to do it or not, or just, I don't know if they're gonna, like, just being able to jump out of that whole negative vibe and just say, I'm gonna do it, if they enjoy it, they enjoy it, and then getting the feedback, and then working with artists that I grew up listening to have them on a CD or being around them at like an Eskimo dance, even doing an Eskimo dance. I've always wanted to do an Eskimo dance, be in Rewind, do a set at Rhythm Division, play Sidewinder. Like for me, just being able to be involved in something that I've always looked up to. That's for me, that's the highest point ever.
And have you done all those things?
Except for a Sidewinder. I haven't been able to do a Sidewinder. That's the only thing. I think if they bring back like a Grime Sidewinder, then I'll be happy.
Oh yeah, because they're more kind of...
they're more into like the niche
I get you.
market at the moment.
So like, how would you describe yourself as an artist? Actually, before that question, I don't want to ask you that just yet. You talked about being able to work with artists that you've looked up to, etc. What's been your like favorite collaboration, and who have you collaborated with?
I've collaborated with loads of people, man. But for me, he's my friend, so I don't want to keep bringing him up, but probably gets. Maybe if I worked with maybe more the top class MCs, then maybe I might have a different name. But to date, from the beginning of my career, he's kind of been involved in the whole like process of me becoming an artist and stuff like that. So being able to see his work as just sit there and watch him recording and stuff like that, it's like, bruh, like there's work to do in this scene. So just being able to see like how he works and how he formats an idea into a song, and then the song becoming more than one song, and then the song becoming a complete project, and then just seeing how it's the whole process of just working. Like for me, he's probably the most, because it's almost like a teacher and a student situation. You kind of have to learn off the teacher to educate yourself on what the subject may be. And for me, him being an artist and just being around that environment to watch what he does, I'd say he's probably the most enjoyable person I work with, definitely.
So you say like you're in a teacher-student situation, and then I asked you previously about, you know, how would you describe yourself right now as an artist and the kind of sound that you make. How would you put that into words for anybody that hasn't heard you yet?
I'd say it's very, very, very relatable. Like if you hear my music, I touch on subjects that anybody of my age or anybody maybe before that can definitely say, yeah, I get that. Like, you know, you get like, I'll give you an example. You know, when you get MCs, or not more, I'd say more so US artists, when they kind of touch on the whole, I've got this amount of money, that guy ain't got no money. Who do you expect to buy the CD? Who's the demographic? If we don't speak to the people and being able to relate to them,
it's true.
How can we turn around and say, yeah, we'll buy the album, or buy the single, or buy my merchandise? I want to be able to speak to the people that have no money, because they come from the same place that I come from. I'm from the same country. How can I not, you get what I'm saying? How can I not be able to relate to them when they see me in shows and stuff like that? I like to come out off the stage, speak to them and make them feel like they're somebody, because we're not any different to them. We're not on some high platform. Most artists are independent, so how are we any different from them?
It's true,
yeah. So I like to be able to kind of like speak to them, find out what's going on, what they don't like, what they do like, and take my music to, when they hear it, it's not almost like, this tune's sick, it's gonna be on my phone for 2 months. Oh, I have no memory, I've got to delete this one, put a next one on. I want that to be a soundtrack to their life, the same way when I listen to albums, they was a soundtrack to my life. Same way like, well, I grew up in the 90s, so Eminem, Marshall Mathers LP, Slim Shady LP, Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. These albums was like the only thing that was possible. Like when they say like, but the police, you're like, yes. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't, so for me it's that, I like that element. So now it's like, I want there to be a sound, I want an album to be someone's like soundtrack to like what they're going through, what their experience is. The best example for me right now ain't even a Grime album, but it's Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City.
Definitely.
He's from Compton, but he's not a gangster, but he's rapping about his surroundings. So anybody from Compton that's a normal person can say, I get it. Like, I just get it. Like, rather than they, so it almost gives you them, you kind of defeat the stereotype, but at the same time, you're able to say, yeah, I'm from this, but I'm not that. And you'd be able to stand out a lot more.
It's almost like hip hop used to have that real kind of, almost, they were like street reporters, kind of like, you know, even they weren't involved in what was going on, they would see what was going on and kind of report on it and put it into a body of work for people to experience what their lives have been like, etc. And is that something that you really want to be able to say, like, this is my life, these are my surroundings? Like
when you hear Boy in the Corner, Dizzy Rascal, before he's even sprayed a bar, the instrumental at the beginning, you hear it, and that kind of takes you to where you are, because that is London through and through. Home Sweet Home and Dizzy's Boy in the Corner are the two albums for me that like almost paint a picture without having to say anything. So I want to be able to do that within the music and kind of like make people come back to that and say, yeah, I'm proud of this album. This is British. This is what we have. And we don't have that necessarily all the time.
No, we don't. They don't come around.
They don't come around. It's a very rare thing.
And I find at the moment people are seemingly chasing the sound from other regions, say like America or whatever, and not really kind of looking at the rich history that we've got here in the UK and the music that we've got to draw from.
But it's weird because there's that element that the Grime MCs don't cover it. But if you take it outside of Grime, you listen to, for me example, I listen to like Kings of Leon, Killers, Adele, stuff like that. They're British albums and they sound like British albums. So when they do well over the States, it's like, hang on, they're not blocking us out because these are British albums and they don't have to contradict what they're sounding like. So why do we have to? So for me, it's almost trying to be able to bring that home and try my hardest to kind of make people realize that Grime music isn't defined by tempo, the sound of an MC, or what they look like. When you listen to that music, if you close your eyes and listen to that music, what can you hear? What can you feel from, you know what I'm saying? What does that bring, like, when you hear it? So I'm trying to be able to do that.
And you talk about the other albums, so like Boy in the Corner and Home Sweet Home, and how they did that sonically also, other than just the lyrics. Is that something that you take in like particular care in the sound of?
The sound, the image, like for me the perfect image for an album is the streets, original pirate material, down to the videos. Everything was British. Like it just seemed like we could be proud of that because it's everything we was doing. We wasn't all in the trap house. Some people might be chilling at the bus stop at a chip shop. For me, that is to be able to bring that relevance and make people feel that when they watch it, when you used to watch Channel U, you might see Titch or a Mr. Wong even video, and you're like, oh, like you sit down and you sit down and you watch it,
you relate to that.
I want to be able to do that again. So that's my aim right now.
And you're gonna be doing that with your videos also.
100%. It's essential because if we don't have it, we're just following a guideline set by nobody. Because nobody set this guideline for us to follow trap music or follow a pop routine or nothing like that. This is just stuff that people do because they think it's the right thing to do. But who's that? When Streets made his album or Dizzy made his first album, nobody told them this is how it's supposed to sound. They've gone in there based off experience. And I think if more artists do the experience route we're gonna get the better music out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
So you from East London?
Yeah.
Rich, again, I've said this again, but rich history of grime artists and producing those kind of artists there. Do you feel like grime is still at the forefront of the music that's coming out of London, like in terms of artists coming up? Is there any up and coming artists that you like, you know, this guy's good or that guy's good? Or
I still think grime is always going to be a forefront for me, but that's just based off of my age, being number one, and the fact that that's the predominant music I listen to. There's loads of artists coming out right now that I think just have the sound down to the T. I don't necessarily think there's any standout names for me, but it's definitely like, remember back in the day you'd have, let's say, Wifey Rhythm on, and it's on everyone's phones.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, is that considered grime music, or is it just a great song that everybody relates to? That's, for me, that's why I'd say grime is like at the forefront, because if it's a popular music, then everyone's gonna listen to it, and grime music is popular.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, we might not sell the most, but it's popular on everyone. Like, everyone's got a song or artist that they listen to. So I think in that aspect, it's always gonna be at the forefront, definitely.
All right. So what's your album gonna be called, and when is it gonna appear for people to be able to buy?
Still deciding on the name.
Yeah.
For me, it's just being able to get the music done, listen to the album, paint a picture, and then maybe work on a name. But you're looking at maybe middle 2014. But you'll definitely hear before me. You'd hear singles and stuff like that during the space of time from now until the album.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And hopefully when the album comes out, it will be received really well by your fans, and, you know, wider than that. And past that, where do you see yourself in the future?
Being able to quit my job and make this situation happen, that's where I see myself in the next 10 years. It's harder to make money off of a hobby, but when you do it, it's more beneficial because you enjoy it rather than working for somebody else that you necessarily don't like, and you're just doing it for the money. This situation for me isn't about money, so being able to put myself in a situation where I can look after my family and friends is the best thing for me to happen. So I'm waiting for that, and when that happens, then I'll be good.
Well, Rival, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you, man.
Right.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to meet you.
Man. Thank
and
you, man.
I definitely feel like I've got to know you more and kind of your story, etc.
Definitely.
So, I'm Despa. You're watching be83, and that's been another episode of Media Artists. Catch you next time. See you soon.